I was born on an island 2 hours south of Copenhagen. My dad was a teacher, and the first place we lived above the school where my dad was a teacher. It was right behind the church. So whenever I would take a nap as a baby, they would put the baby buggy out in the backyard on the schoolyard. So my mom always said that I slept and napped under the supervision of the school children and under the shade of the church steeple. And then the big thing happened when I was about 8 or 9 years old. They were able to scrape enough money together to build a house. And old houses in Denmark are pretty much brick houses. So the first time we moved into that, we each got our own room, and I went and opened and closed all the drawers in the kitchen and opened the windows because they were not creaky. And the summers in Denmark are very special because that's when we are outside a lot and go swimming in the Baltic Sea. But it's also very little sunshine. So every time the sun comes out, people in Denmark, they just get out their little camping chair and sit out and soak up the sun. My mom was the oldest of 5 children, and her father committed suicide when he was very young, at 42. So my mom was always a caretaker, and I think I inherited her caretaker gene. So I decided that I was going to be a nurse. My husband, Bill, grew up in Minnesota. He grew up in Rochester. He moved to Denmark to meet somebody. I ended up staying there, and we met and started dating, and he asked if I would like to move to the United States, and I said, well, I don't want to move to the United States and work at McDonald's. So I said, well, when I'm done with my nurse's training, we'll move to the United States. So in 1990, I graduated from nursing school in May. In June of 1990, we got married. And in August, we moved to Minnesota. I didn't start working right away. I had to get my exam, my license. And so the first year I spent at home, and that was in the winter, and that was strange in a small town. And people that worked in offices and in the bank, they would come out and they would see me somewhere pulling the kids on the sled because we only had one car. And I said, oh, you are the lady from Denmark. And then in 91, I took my exam and started working at the hospital here in Wilmer. And I worked there from 91 till now. And I just retired. I've had a hard time explaining to people that just because I come from a Scandinavian country doesn't mean that I fit right into the Lutheran Norwegian church group, because it's so different. And a lot of people ask me why I didn't teach my kids Danish, and I said, well, I didn't actually decide not to teach them Danish. It just happened. When they started school, one day my daughter just said, stop speaking that language to me. So we just kind of forgot. You know, I have given a lot. The last 10 years I was actually a hospice nurse. So I have helped a lot of families. And I've also contributed to the small community where we live, just by welcoming new people, because I know how it is to be new in a community.